I'm nervous. I don't know if I could do this. Minnie, am I live? You checking?
Pretty close.
Okay. Is Festool live?
There you go.
Okay, everybody. It is 12 noon. Well, hey, you know what? I got to change the clock. I've been saying that. It's not really 12 noon, is it? Is it? No, seriously. Do you stat me early?
No, it's exactly.
No? It's exactly 12 noon, so welcome to Festool Friday. It's Festool Live. Episode 188. Okay, hey, everybody. Pay attention, pay attention. Pay attention. Chris loves that. Oh, hey, speaking of that, all right, over here we have Christine working the board. Yes. On the camera, we have somebody new. It's Chris the unit. I'm on permanent vacation all the time. Cyber. We have Brent Shively online. Woo! Answering all your questions. I gotta Google how to do Festool Live today. Wow. Okay, and we have a special guest in the room. We have Minnie, Grandma, and we have her grandson, Owen. Say hi, Owen!
Hello.
Where you from?
Wisconsin.
Nice. Okay, put that up there so I call him out.
Hi, Mom. Say hi, Mom.
Say hi, Mom.
Mom.
Hi, Mom. Okay. Woo! All right. We're going to have fun today. So, today's episode, Minnie, did I have to announce anything? Oh.
Whoever's on the board.
What do you mean?
The answer, the keyboard.
Oh, yeah, I did. Brent.
Oh, I didn't hear it.
Yeah.
I must have been sidetracked.
Okay.
We hope people are safe.
Oh, that's what you had mentioned earlier. Okay, everybody, we hope you're safe. Tropical storm. It started out as a tropical depression, it stormed, then went to depression, and then it hit the bend of Florida as a hurricane, right? Mm-hmm. And boy, it is a slow crawler up the coast of the U.S., so everybody, I hope you're safe. And that's it.
Yep.
Okay, good. Okay. Hey, Minnie almost has a full board going forward, so tell us where you're from to keep her busy. We really appreciate it. And today's episode is, because the first one, and it's in the description, Ergonomics number 1. This is Ergonomics number 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to start right over here. Hey, Mo. Okay. So over the years, watching people use the Festool system of tools, and just recently, I was observing a training, and I saw people holding the sanders, and I'm going, I wonder if they see what I see. So hear me out. We have these sanders, and everybody loves them. There are ETS, EC 150s, and 125. All right, now, what I saw somebody doing was, and I guess they had watched where I might have, when I was using the track saw, wrapping it around my arm, well, they were wrapping this around their arm. Okay, when they were starting it, okay, from this angle, I was watching them, and you could see how it was lifted ever so slightly. So if you're gonna hold the hose, there's two things to do. Buy a boom arm, okay, because that takes the cord and hose out of your way, and so you can concentrate, or hold the hose like this. In other words, in episode number 1 of Ergonomics, I went through the Rotex and how to hold the Rotex sanders properly. Hold it by the back to make sure that the pad remains flat. Okay? And this is what I always try to do when I'm using these sanders, is keep that pad flat and always be aware. Now the nice thing about these 6-inch sanders, we used to have these, and we still have them, the tall ETS sanders, is it's the lower ergonomics. And if you can go and try one of these, if you don't already own one, try them at a demo area. They are so comfortable to use. So everybody I put and who runs these, they're super lightweight, so you can do sides of cabinets, okay, but also keeping the pad flat. Now I want to go back and talk about something about sanding before I move on to other ergonomics. I have heard this over and over the years. It's a controversy almost about sanding. Do you start the sander on the material, or do you start it off? Watch. I always start it on. Yes, there's a swirl mark over there, but I can remove that swirl mark by sanding. Here's what I'll tell you. When you finish sanding, always take it off and turn it off, okay? Because if you leave it on, watch, I'll show you. I can guarantee there's a swirl mark under there, okay? And then, now, the controversy is this: do you start it on or off? Well, somebody once told me I always start it off because I don't want any swirl marks, but look, as I do this, I felt it. It hit on this side of the pad first. So I have a little scalloping in there. I like to start on and stop it coming off. So there's a little tip on sanding, starting and stopping. I cannot start it, I cannot put it down at a perfect 90. So just practice, start it on and take it off and stop it. Okay, the reason I wanted to cover this is because, like I said earlier, I saw somebody like this, and guess what? I can almost guarantee they had it like this, and they, come in here, Chris, so you can see this. It was off like this. I saw it a mile away, so always be aware, keep that pad flat. Ergonomics. Whew. Okay, so in 2008, in the United States, we came out with the OF 2200. I went back and looked at some of the marketing material that we got from Germany, some of the spec sheets, and I really remember this. It said 30-degree offset of handles. It's a great ergonomic for routers. And I went, what the heck are we talking about? And then if we come in here, you'll see, and you can see it right, if I go like this with a 90, it's a 30-degree offset. The handles are positioned like this. I said, okay, I get it, but I really don't get it. Hear me out on this one, please. So I grabbed a 1400, and I was using a 1400 that same time, and I realized something. I don't use a router like this because I don't need to see the bit, and this is not good ergonomics with a router, whether ours or any other brand of routers, because guess what? It tilts. The way our routers are designed, the 1010, 1400, I call this my steering handle. So when I use this, okay, I'm going forward and I have really good, firm contact with the piece I'm profiling when I'm using handheld. But then, I'm gonna, you know what, enough talk, I wanna show you this, because this is cool. And this is where I got the 30-degree offset. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch out this dust extractor to a 36mm hose, because I like using 36mm hoses when I'm routing. Let me just plug in the plug-it cord. Here. Always, when you are routing, before you put a plug-it cord on, make sure you cycle that power off. You may have inadvertently changed it. So I already have the depth and everything set on this. Okay, so I was routing that same year with the 1400, and I noticed something. Watch. I'll just start right here. Do you notice I automatically, and I noticed back then, I was at a 30-degree when I'm routing. Okay, so I went, duh. For me, it's most comfortable to run a router this way. I have firm contact on here, and instead of going like this, I'm automatically into it, and I cant it at 30 degrees. So obviously, the engineers saw that with people, and they designed this router. See my flat right here? If I use a parallel edge guide, I'm always at 30 degrees. So I can hold it just like this in the most comfortable position. So I'm gonna set this, and I'm gonna run this bit. I already set it up. Always remember, right here is how you put the chip deflector on, snap it in. Don't ever put your hand right here when you're putting these bases on, because you could catch yourself. Always go like that. Ask me how I know. That's an ouchie. Okay, I'm gonna plug it in and hit it with the 36mm hose. Oh, I know I did an episode on the 2200 before, but boy, any opportunity I get to run it, I like to. Okay, here we go. Let me get the dust extraction on here. Whoopsie. I need 10 hands for this one. Okay, there we go. Let's make sure the cord is out of the way as well. There we go, and I'll just start it up. There we go. And there's a button here. That's at 360. See how that's automatically puts you in that 30 degree. That's the ergonomics that our engineers are always conscientious when we're designing Festool tools. Woo! How's that? That was pretty good? You know what I like about it? Chris, get in here. Look at the profiles we ran and look at the dust down here. Barely anything. So man, when you can combine great ergonomics and fantastic dust extraction, you got it. All right, let's go to the fun part. All right, next. Yes, I'm going to talk about the Domino and I'm going to talk about the ergonomics. But just recently, again, I saw somebody using the Domino and I went over and I coached them a little and said, what are you actually looking at? So follow me on this one as well. Pay attention. I only do that for the unit. Okay, so look, as always, and I'll cover stuff that I've covered before. I always mark my boards because that's where I'm going to lay my plate. I'm going to go in this direction. Okay, I already did this side, so I'm going to put my dominoes in. Easter egg. Hey, is he here? Is Dirk here? Oh, he is. Dirk from Dayton's here. He's so popular, he has his own sticker. Cool. All right, so I did that side already. Now, let me hook this up. I have the setup already done. I'm using a 6x40, 6 being the thickness, 40 being the length, right? We've gone over twice now, episode number 1, and a few weeks ago we did a Festool Domino refresh. I went through the 4 rules of using Domino. 1, using the plate on the same reference face, plunging in line, working off of the table, and plunging at what? A steady rate, so you don't hear chatter. You'll see me doing that. Plunging in line comes about when somebody came up to me years ago and said, there's a defect in the Domino. And I went, tell me what you're talking about. He goes, I have a hard time using it, a hard time plunging with it. You see this part right here, the dust extraction? I go, yeah. He goes, I'm right-handed, and it's always in the way. And I go, it's because you shouldn't be holding it there. You always hold it toward the back so you don't lift it up or tilt it. Okay? But also, I always saw, and I'm going to turn this on, and I'll turn it to that setting, the tightest of settings. I'm going to use the precision of the machine. Okay, I got my cross stops set at 150 millimeters apart. All right. This is what I see all the time. Now, when it comes to ergonomics, where you should concentrate on your Domino is the handle right here. Okay, that's where your pressure is. I feel like I'm actually locked in right now. Okay, because I've taken that flap and pivoted in, and I always see people doing this. I haven't made any marks on there. I haven't made any lines like you use a biscuit joint or anything, but I see people going like this. What are you looking at? When you go like this, you're hunched over. The right ergonomics, the way you should use this comfortably, is, Chris, see if we can get in here. I always, if I have to look, okay, I look right through there. Can you guys catch that right there? I look through this window and I can see my cursor great if I use lines, which I'm not. I'm just using the flap. I used to do this, look underneath to see if I got the flap right, but you don't need that. Look right here, you see this triangle? See how I've split it? Okay, I know I've shouldered that flap correctly. So when I talk about the easiest way that I know to teach people about the domino joiners, it's simple. Relax, let the machine do the work, okay? We have figured it out for you by all the reference points, okay? Whether the flap or these pins, okay? Okay, so when I say relax, just hold it right here. You don't have to white knuckle it. You turn it on like this, and you plunge from the back of the machine. And I always just get in line with the machine myself. And you plunge at a steady rate, and then I'm gonna switch it. See, what I'm getting at is I don't have to look at it. I just relax. And I make my next mortise. And I come over here and I grab that pin, and guess what? I relax, and I make my next mortise. It's all built into the system. So let's see if I got this right. Drum roll, please. We gotta get a drum roll machine. Look, see how we made it tight like this? Look at that. Perfectly flat. Okay, and those boards look like they're what, Chris?
They look book match.
Hey, Mr. Book Match! How many nicknames do I have for him now? Minnie, how many nicknames do I have for the unit?
Oh, my goodness.
That's too many. I'm telling you. You didn't even know I was going to do that, did you?
I did not.
Okay, but guys, I always say this. I've said it 100 times on Festool Arts. I wish I had field of vision, because that is perfectly level, okay? And it's going together absolutely perfect. And I did that for you, unit.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so I think it was a few episodes ago, I went through the setting up for offsets with the Domino XL, okay? And doing the table leg and apron skirt. But what I want to do now is I want to just do another apron skirt for you so I could show you some of the ergonomics that I have learned over the years with this machine. Okay? See how a couple of minutes ago, did you see how I plunged in line? Well, I'm really conscientious of this unit as well. Oh, this unit, okay, it's a very smooth joiner, but we have this handle here. Okay, and there's a lot of times everybody wants to pick it up a little when they're on here like this, okay? Where what I like to do, and I'm going to use the 20 pin and 50 pin, notice the ergonomics on this handle. It's not straight up like the 500, it's actually canted forward, okay? So when I put that on there, that automatically goes to flat, the plate to my board. It's perfect. It just drags me onto there like this. So I'm gonna do both of these tight. And what, see, in the back of the machine, I'm plunging in line. But I'm just making sure that I know that plate's flat, and that handle helps me do that. So when I take that and set it up, let's see if I did this one correct. See, that's perfect, and I have that 10mm offset, and I always label everything. All right, so there's one more ergonomic that I want to go over with everybody with this 500. And give me 1 second, I'm going to get the support bracket. So this is the support bracket. When I've mentioned this 1,000 times too, whenever I put it onto the 500 or 700, make sure it's on a flat surface. That way there it doesn't get offset at all. And I'll put that in there like that. Okay. And I'm going to mark these 2 boards real quick. Is it okay if I take this apart, Chris? Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Great book match, though.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to do a butt joint. Say I'm building a cabin, all right? Just like this. I am just using this as a reference mark because this is where I'm going to lay my plate. You could actually do it like this and do a carpenter's triangle, however you want to do it. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to plunge, and I saw this on somebody's Instagram feed recently, and I said, boy, is that awkward. But guess what? With a biscuit joiner, I used to do it. Okay? So I'm only going to plunge 15 in this one. All right? But I want to show you the ergonomics of this. I see people all the time doing this. And I'm going to set this up really quick. Actually, I'll come in here, Chris, so you can actually see my process of doing this. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to bring my board in. Just lock it in here. I'll bring it back just a little. Okay, and I'll bring my other board, my other clamp in here like this. Okay, and get a clamping. Get clamping pressure. I'm going to move this over so I don't trash my 1400. Okay, so I need to go in here. I need to put 2 dominoes in here. And this is where I want you all to get used to this. All right? When you're doing this, I see people do this. Okay? For me, that doesn't work because I'm actually just balancing the plate on this 3/4 material. Okay? And I have a tendency to rock it forward, even as I plunge. When I say the proper ergonomics, it's however you feel comfortable. But the way I feel comfortable, and this is the way I was taught to use the domino, is let gravity do its job. All right? So I'm going to lock it in here, and hopefully, Chris, I'm going to twist it a little so you can come right here. All right? He's the best cameraman ever. He's the best cameraman we've ever had on Festool Live. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. He's basically the only one. Okay. Wait. No, we've had other camera people, haven't we? We've had.
You need to make a note not to let Garrett watch
this. And we've had Chip as a cameraman, haven't we? We've had 2. We've had a couple different camera people. Mm-hmm. Okay, so when I say let gravity do its job, I see people all the time going like this with a support bracket. And for me, that could tilt. So what I like to show everybody is this, is when you plunge, put the pressure where you need to put the pressure on that 3/4 piece. And that's where my mark is, right there. And the other thing, safety, is when you turn it on, just pinch it on like this. And there you go. Just like that. When you get really good at this, you can do it on 1 foot. No? No? She's heard it before. Okay. Okay. Hey, tough room today. Okay? But there you go. The ergonomics of plunging horizontally behind the machine and vertically. Okay, and where to put proper pressure. So we had a person in here for end user training years ago. He goes, I go, what did you get out of training? He goes, how to hold the tools properly, where to position yourself with the tools. And that was because of routers and the domino. So sometimes when I do these Festool Lives, I always reflect back to what were some of the pain points, pinching points with the Festool system with people out there using them. All right, did that sound good, men?
Oh, wonderful.
Okay, Chris, are you okay? Back up slowly. Okay, good. All right. Hey, I'm going to start off with that.
All right.
Okay, and I'm not kidding. Come over here, unit. Everybody at home, pronounce after me. North Wales. Northern Wales. And all these other things here, these consonants and vowels. Canolfin, Adisig, Londud. No. How'd that come out?
Londono.
Londono, maybe. All right, cool. Okay, let's get this board over here. I don't want to block you out, Owen. Look at all these names. Holy macanoli. Wow. We have Ray from Pensacola, Florida. Rick from sunny Blackpool, UK. We have Mike M. from Boston, Texas. Andrew from Toledo, Ohio. Joshua from Las Vegas. We have Rob from South Devon, England. Joe from Waseca, Illinois. Okay. Steve Z from Switzerland. Or Switz. What's that mean, man? Switzerland. Okay, Paul, Cheryl, and Sam from Anthem, Arizona. The Welsh Rabbit's back. We have Des from Harrogate, England. Big Island Ed. We have Dirk from Dayton. Woo! We have Leo from Holland. We have Chris from Malta, always with us. We have the crew from Woodcraft, Dayton. Eli from Denver. Wow, that's really good printing, man. We have Doug from Zionsville.
My bet.
Yeah, Owen did that one. Okay, we have Merlin from Walla Walla, Washington. We have Jason from Fenton, Michigan. Excuse me. Mike C. from Winchester, Virginia. Mark from Los Angeles, California. Johnny Ringo, Searsport, Maine. We have Owen from Kenosha, Wisconsin. Nice. We have Rockla, Captain Kirk, Marietta, Georgia. Jason and Yana from Granite Falls, Washington. Blake Weber from Novato, California. We have Gary from Sedgeville, Massachusetts. Really? There's a Sedgeville? Okay. We have Fish and Doogie from Lancaster, PA. We have Frank from Downers Grove, Illinois.
You know that's Gary.
It's Gary Furness. It's the governor. The governor's from Sedgeville. Okay, we have Frank from Downers Grove, Illinois. Aronzo from Mississauga, Ontario. Stefan from Sedgeville. From Augsburg, Germany. Jeff from Clarksburg, Maryland. Tom and Kelly from Eatonton, Georgia. John from East Hadman, Connecticut. Norman from Fallbrook, California. Willie, who's the Sparktrician. You know, I already thought I turned this. I got another board. Look at this. Boy, Minnie. We have Madhava from La Crosse, Florida. We have Warren from Batavia, Ohio. Gerald from Darida, Louisiana. Mark from Anaheim, California. Dragan from Serbia. Dan from Kingman, Arizona. I was just talking about dragons today. Okay, hey, we have Dan from Kingman, Arizona, Stefan from Saskatchewan, Canada, the other Warren from Caldwell, Idaho, Soren from Denmark, Rick from Tallahassee. It's Dave and Gwen. Woo! It was great having him last week. We spent the weekend.
That was fun.
Nicole from Wisconsin.
Could that be?
Could that be Owen's mom? Woo! We have Mark from Irvine, California. We have Mike from York Haven, Pennsylvania. We have Johnny O from Atco. Mark from Crimpen, Anderlecht. We have Paul from Reading, Berkshire, UK. We have, is that Francois?
No,
It's Francis from Boucherville, Quebec.
it is Francis, yes.
Francis from Boucherville, Quebec. We have George from Tallinn, Estonia. We have Petri from Jolarvi, Finland. We have Oliver from Southern California. We have Joe from Akron, Ohio. We have Yizu from Suriname, Paramaribo. Or is it Paramaribo, Suriname?
Yes.
That's it, man. Woo! We have Apo from Aka, Finland. We have Mark from Newark, Ohio. We have John. I like Apo from Aka, Finland better. What do you think, Unit?
I like that.
You like that? Okay. Mark from Newark, Ohio. John from Columbus, Ohio. Bermuda, Steve from Bermuda. I'm good like that. B Double Dizzle from Benton.
B Double's back.
B Double Dizzle from Bentonville, Arkansas. That's so cool.
I love him. Yeah.
The unit is my, is that what he said?
That's what he said.
He said, the unit is my spirit animal. Woo! We have Rick from Miami, Jim B. from Greenbrier, California, Patrick from Letter by Dragonfly, Ohio, that's Strongville, Ohio. Woo! Bahama Brian, that's Brian St. John Moss. Oh, man, how you doing, Bri? Good? Good. All right. We have Mike P. from Oahu, Hawaii, Kerry from Dallas, Texas, Dale from Swaddling, Tim,
Who should I refer the guy from Frank Miller to since he's on the phone?
I told him that Chris Bursch out in the warehouse. Chris is outside. I'm getting a lumber delivery. Hey, Mo! go. All right, we have Mike. Where'd I leave? Oh, Dale from Swaddle-Inco. Tim from Livingston, New Jersey. Kenneth from Oak Park, Illinois. Bradley from Orlando, Florida. Russ Hugster from Chichester. How you doing, brother? From another mother. We have Leslie from North Carolina. Klaus from Beer Place, Denmark. I want to go there. Minnie, is that really the name? Beer Place, Denmark?
That's what they tell me.
I want to live there. Jeff from Bloomington, Indiana. Sean from Cleveland. Scott from Greeley, Colorado. Jerry from Nebraska. Mark from Woodcraft, Springfield. Jimmy from Denmark. Fifi from Bled, Slovenia. Karen from New Hampshire. Dana from Washington. We know Dana. He won that, training with Sedge time, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's from Yokol. Daniel from Switzerland. We have Rex from Missouri. Richard and George the dog. Woof, he's sleeping. Artem from Ontario. Sergio from California. My main man, Ant from Fontana. We have Brent from Louisville. Matt, and that's Matt. From Tinley Pack. Illinois. We have Jero Slaw from Toronto. Bill from Baton Rouge. Dean from Fauquier City, Virginia. And Mike from Merced, California. And Steve from Southern Africa. Do we have anybody else, man?
We do.
Holy macadoli, good crowd. All right, and get ready for the fall, baby, because next week we start. Hint, hint. All right, Paul X! Woo! We miss you, Paul, baby.
Safest boat in the country.
From Rochester, Minnesota. We have Jan from Germany. We have Brian from Ontario.
And we have Brad from Orlando.
We have Brad from Orlando, Florida.
Right.
Good. We have Owen from Kenosha, Wisconsin. We have Christine from Indianapolis. We have Chris from Whitestown, Indiana. We have Sedge from Whitestown, Indiana. Hey, everybody, Chris is my neighbor. Okay. We have Minnie from...
I don't know where I live anymore.
In the country of Indiana. We have Willie from Freeville. Okay.
There we go. We're done.
Okay, everybody. That's episode 188. I got to tell you, next week starts our time to start talking about new tools for the fall.
Ooh, that's exciting.
I am super stoked. I have been practicing all summer long. And get ready, because we have one heck of a fall Festool Live agenda. Or outline, right? Executive producer, Chris, the unit Cyber.
Yep.
All right, everybody, have a great weekend. I know we're gonna. Lots planned.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for watching. What do we always say? We love you.
Yep.
Have a safe end of summer weekend. And we'll see you next week. Remember, new products starting next week. Woohoo! Is this a wrap, Christine? From some